call, I don't want to, but I'm gonna try. When she left me, yeah, died a little bit inside. You know, maybe things are gonna be alright. 'Cause I just wanna see the light.
It's
Yeah, I just wanna see the
showtime!
light.
And they're on in a great time. But I know which way to go, left or right. It's all eyes on the Ferrari. Stylo has done the impossible. This is the move. This is the moment.
And that puts in Rapture on the podium.
But it's this man who comes home victorious.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to Moose Racing League's presentation of Tier 4 at Monaco Grand Prix, one of the trickiest tracks out there by far. My name is going to be Miller, and I will be commentating this fun and exciting race. I had a little bit of trouble last week with my volume, so please tell me if it is working better this week. Grand Prix, one of the trickiest tracks out there. A little bit of a shorter field this week with only 11 racers, which isn't a bad thing for Monaco for how tight and how tricky it could be. We only have Volnev, Kobke, Nui, Ted, MRK, JTB, Razor, Great Ace, John Does Work, Devin Burns, and Young Shoelace. Let's go ahead and hop out there and see what kind of qualifying times we're going to see today. Turn up the stream. I got it. Hopefully that's a little bit better. Apparently somebody's at my front door. Turn up the stream, Shane Gillis. All right, let's go ahead and see. We got Volnev on an outlap. Like I said, qualifying is the most important on this track, for it is extremely tricky to pass at all due to how tight and technical this track will be. Monaco is known for that. So whatever you qualify is a good chance where you're going to finish if you can hold on to the car with how tricky and dangerous this track can be. I'm not going to really see too many penalties as far as going over, maybe down through this corner that you see at Kobke coming into the tricky S section. You might see some time penalties right here. But other than that, you're not going to see too much, maybe just damaged wings and holding on for heck. And we got Volnev starting on a hot lap right now. Let's see what he can do. No problem. All right, as you see, Volnev coming to pretty clean right there. Purple sector's one, obviously, first person to put a lap in. Very tricky left-hander, full, tight corner right there. Going to be a little bit of an issue during the race for sure. See if you can get this good corner without touching any, and a great exit like what I'm seeing out of Volnev. Goes into a really tricky braking section right here, trying not to impede his lap. Oh, and he does! That lap was looking good, but unfortunately cut that a little too tight. Gonna lose that. See if Ted can do any better and keep his lap alive. A little bit of traffic getting out of the way right there for Young Shoelace. And a good corner for Ted. Gonna get a good exit. Looks like Young Shoelace back there had no front wing. Probably why he's off the pace through his lap. Another tricky section, holds it together. He went purple in sector 2. Is he going to be able to get on the brakes proper and rotate the car? He does. Ted looking pretty strong on this lap. See if we can get the power down. DRS flap is open. What kind of time are we going to see out of Ted right now? He's got a 1:14.2. Not sure what other kind of times we're going to see today, but I'm interested to figure that one out. We got Razor's bad on a lap. Purple sector 1 for Razor. We're in a really tight section right here. See if we can get on the brakes proper. Nice. A little wide. Not breaking any traction like what I'm seeing. A little wide also on that right-hander. He's going to barely kiss the wall right there. His Great Ace goes a 1:15.7. John does work with a 1:13.6. Very impressive. Volnev, obviously, I think he's coming in unless he planned on running in multiple laps. Kopke still in the pits. See if Newbie's on a lap right now. Purple sector 1 for Newbie. Great corner. Oh, hopefully he doesn't get any impeding from Great Ace up here. It's going to be tricky. This track is just so hard to fit more than one car with Volnev with a 1:13.1. Razor is bad, coming up with a 1:12.05 or 02. What a lap from Razor. See if Newbie invalidates his lap right there. That's the one part of the track where I keep saying you're gonna most likely see our time penalties or any issues during the race. Let's come on down to MRK. MRK is on a lap as well. Is he going to be able to navigate through cleanly? Barely cutting that as close as you can to running out of bounds right there and invalidating his lap. Let's see what he can do finishing it. He goes purple sector 2. MRK's on a heater right now. Is he going to be able to get on the brakes and rotate the car properly? He does. Looking very clean right here. Puts the power down beautifully. See what kind of lap we're going to get out of MRK really quick. MRK with a 1:11.4. The times are just dropping right now. I think Razor's going to be able to answer that. I believe he will with a little bit of track evolution. It looks like we might be seeing a little bit of rain, so maybe people are trying to get out there and run their laps as quick as they can. Razor's Brad coming to the pits. See if we have anybody else. It looks like Newbie is going to wind himself up for another attempt at a lap as he invalidated his first try, but he was definitely on a really impressive lap, so hopefully we can put one together as Devin Burns and JTB are not running their qualifying. I'm not sure if they have a quali ban or not. I did not take a look at that. As Newbie's getting his lap going here. Needs to put a time on the board because, as I said, he invalidated that first one. Let's see if he goes to the first right-hander carrying tons of speed. Really like to see that out of him. I meant to say Kopke. Sorry about that, but he invalidates his lap yet again. Newbie with a 11.5 right behind MRK. Oh, it just goes to show what kind of time MRK was able to put down right there. It's absolutely impressive from him. See if John does work, has anything else, or is he on an in-lap? I didn't have a chance to look. It looks like his speed is indicating an in-lap. A 1:12.1. We're getting pretty tight up here. Razor is on an outlap. Let's see if he can get a little bit more time out of that. I think he can. I think the track evolution's working in their favor. Also, Volnev is on an outlap as well. All right, as we hop on board with MRK for a split second. Gonna see on his outlap as nobody is really on a lap yet, but MRK is getting ready to put another one in. What about Razor? It's like we're gonna see Razor gonna be our next individual on a hot lap. Let's see if he can improve at all. He's pretty close to MRK and Newbie. And Razorbat is getting on this lap to see if he gets to that first corner pretty good. Looking pretty good, cutting a little short, probably lost a little momentum. It's really important to carry your momentum for that turn. And I have a lot going uphill. Let's see if he can rotate the car and not lose traction. There's a little bump right here on the inside that really upsets the car, especially come down here through the cafe area as he takes that big bump dead on right there on the brakes pretty smoothly. Getting down to second or third, and here's a tricky part, and he goes a little wide, but he's able to keep that momentum up. I'm liking what I'm seeing. Is he going to be able to cut this corner? He goes a little wide again there, not on the brakes as quick as he wanted to, bounces off the wall slightly. Running a little wide. This isn't looking like a good lap for Razor, unfortunately. And that is correct, B-Dunk. It is Miller time. Yeah, it's not looking too good. I'm pretty sure Razor is going to go ahead and abort this lap. See what MRK is at. MRK goes purple sector 1. Beautiful. Love to see that. Is he going to get the car stopped? Running a little wide. That's really going to hurt his lap. I'm not sure if it's going to be worth it. He's probably a little bit above time right now. He's got 8 minutes left in Navona with a 1:11.3. What a lap. Love to see that. MRK, like I said, went a little wide there, so I don't think he's going to do it. Newbie is going to try to put another lap in right now as he's about to get it started. Looks like Razor's still going to be trying to finish this lap, or maybe he's going to run another one, recharge the battery. I could not tell. What can Newbie put in? As he carries a ton of momentum right there. He's got a little bit of traffic coming uphill. It's going to really impede his time. His own shoelace barely gets in his way. MRK with the 1:10.8. Absolutely insane from him. Seen some crazy times coming out. Can Newbie do anything with it? Let's see, coming through here. Beautiful on the brakes. Great exit from him. He's looking pretty good through that. Cuts down looking pretty nice. Gets on the power. Beautiful. Let's see if he can. He's got a little bit of traffic ahead of him. Oh, this is going to be tricky. Little bit of... Oh, no. As... Runs off the track beautifully right there from Razor or Ted. I can't tell which one it is. Is Newbie going to have anything for them? Let's see here with MRK's time up there and a 1:10 from MRK and a 1:11 from Volna. Let's see if Newbie can do anything about that as he goes purple sector 2 from Newbie as he is carrying some momentum right now as he gets a little sideways on the exit there, trying to get that power down as quickly as he can. It's definitely going to hurt him a little bit. Newbie with a 1:10.83. Look how tight MRK and Newbie are for the pole position. That is absolutely amazing to see. Like I said before, qualifying is everything here at Monaco, as there is so hard to pass. See, Ted is on a lap right now. See how Cobk is doing. Ooh, cut that really tight right there. Pretty interesting to only see 11 drivers in Tier 4. This track is not necessarily the most enjoyable track to race on, like I said, but only having 12 drivers out there. Yo, says Bum. What's up, dog? As I said before, Bub, I was saying it out loud, Monaco is one of the trickiest tracks to race on, so getting a good qualifying position is everything here. Looks like everybody is in the pits for right now. Unless Ted is on a lap. Let's take a look here, see if he can improve his position. He was able to run a 1:12.8. Our leaders are up in the 1:10s. Some crazy time we're seeing out of Newbie and MRK. It's everything. Everybody's in the pits right now, saving it for one more run, it looks like. Move the Ted and see how he's doing on his lap. Is he going to be able to get on the brakes properly and not cut this corner and invalidate his lap? It's the trickiest corner, I think, to not invalidate, and he goes through it beautifully. Breaking a little bit of traction, trying to get on the power too soon. Looking pretty strong right here. He's 2 seconds up on his time. Must have had a mistake right there. Yeah, as you're going to see him pull into the pits right there. Let's see here. We got K on an outlap. Let's see if he can improve at all from P8. I'll agree with you, Mr. Titan. Time for the most exciting part of the race or the qualifying is the last 3 minutes, because everybody's going to be getting out there trying to put some times in before you run out. So we got Great Ace, Kopke, and Young Shoelace on, or Young Shoelace is starting the lap. A little sideways, or maybe it's just a little bit of a lag. See if they can get on the power here. It's a really tricky section to get the power down. You got to be very gentle on the throttle. Plus 1 second so far. It's not looking too strong for Young Shoelace here, unless they can make some sort of improvement. Let's see if Kopke here can carry the momentum through turn 1. Very important to keep that speed up going through that uphill. See how he looks going through the trickier section. Able to put the power down a little bit. See on the brakes here. Well, that's looking good so far. What kind of time are we going to see out of him? Not too sure. His Great Ace gets on a lap right now. Looks like just about everybody is getting going here. Kopke, let's see what they're at right now. If they're improving their time at all, looking pretty strong. Gets the power down great through a tricky section, like what I'm seeing. Nope, plus 3 seconds. Must have had a little bit of an incident right there. So we got everybody in the top on an outlap. See if we're going to see any type of battle between Newbie and MRK for pole, unless Volnev can pull out some crazy time, which I don't doubt it. Ted starts their lap right now. Ooh, carrying all the speed, using every bit of track, almost too much, probably touching the wall slightly right there. They're able to keep it up through here. It's really tricky. Good exit. Let's see if they can get on the brakes properly. Looking real smooth. Down on their time by 0.5. Really important. It's got a little bit more time to gain than that, though, unfortunately. They start messing with the top runners. Looking real strong here. See if we can get on the brakes properly and not invalidate the lap. Ooh, looking good. As also Newbie up here is on a lap as well. They are 0.052 up on back on their time, unfortunately. It's not really making an improvement. How about Ted? Ted invalidates, unfortunately, when they were slightly down on their time. That is not too fun for Ted. What about MRK? Is MRK... Wow, he is cooking. Purple Sector 1, 0.01 down on their time. Little bit of time, that's gonna make it. He's gotta get a little bit more to catch Newbie. What about Newbie? Newbie is also down on his time, so it's gonna be tricky for MRK to do anything about it. Oh! Newbie gets a little too excited. Uh-oh. Is able to get in the pits just in time before MRK. MRK is still only 0.05 now for MRK. Let's see if he can. That's just about what he needs right now. If he can keep this up, he might be able to get the pole. If he can just get the power down properly. Get on the brakes. Let's see. Open that wing. Is he going to be able to take pole? It's going to be close. He does! MRK with 110.5 is able to get the pole away from Newbie. What a lap from MRK getting the pole so far, unless John Does Work has anything to say about it, but it doesn't look like it. He is 0.1 up on his time, unfortunately. And Ched, I think this is the starting order that we're going to see right now. Looks like it'll be MRK, Newbie, Volnev, John Does Work, Razor, Cobb K-Tag, Great Ace, Young Shoelace, JTB, and Striker. Also, Devin Burns not putting in a time for us today. That was pretty impressive from MRK, and Newbie had it for a second there and lost it right at the end. See if I can get my camera to focus properly. There it is, like I said earlier. MRK, Newbie, Volnev, John Does Work, Razor, Cobb K, Ted, Great Ace, Young Shoelace, JTB, Striker, and Devin Burns will be our race. It's going to be tricky. With only 12 drivers, it's a little less chaotic than it would be normally with a full lobby. Getting through the first lap is extremely hard without losing your wing, without anything happening. I think we're going to be in for, I would say, an exciting race, but it's just going to be more of follow the leader without some people being crazy. Maybe a safety car here or there. Throw a little bit of something interesting into it. Alrighty. Any predictions for the race, ladies and gentlemen? Looks like we're going to have a dry, clear race as we get ready right now. Here come the lights. Let's see what's going to happen in this turn one. So MRK gets a good launch. Let's go back a little bit and see what's going to happen here. MRK, a little bit of battling. Oh my goodness, we got two wide coming in here with John Does Work and Razor. Everybody keeping it clean. No crazy accidents or wing loss from what I can see as we get a little bit of banging and beating back here, but nothing too bad. Oh goodness. There it is. This Razor and Comke are bouncing off each other. We're getting a little bit more of a dive bomb back here from JTB to get more battling with the Young Shoelace, Devin Burns, and Striker all trying to battle. As our leaders get away pretty cleanly up there. Starting to see already a break in the pack. I don't see any missing wings. Maybe an end plate here or there as JTB goes deep into there, having to take the wrong way through that corner. It's Volnev going purple in that sector as they are not letting MRK get any distance in between them. A little bit of a break right there as you saw from John Does Work, trying to put the power down too much, too soon. Young Shoelace goes deep into that corner. Young Shoelace looks like he's got a little bit of wing damage, going to make it pretty tricky here. As you see Great Ace going into the pits to replace his wing. Everybody makes it through the first lap besides a couple wing damage. That's actually pretty impressive. So everybody out here fighting for grip. I can see every time I scroll to a different car, they're just sideways coming out of a corner. It's just so tricky here. As you see our leaders, MRK, Newbie, and Volnev just slowly pulling away and doing their own race as Jondo's work isn't too far back here. Let's go ahead and take a look here and see what everybody started on the mediums. Great Ace went to the sauce after switching out his front wing. Just gonna try to run everything down a little bit. Oh, we got a car going sideways back here. This Volnev is starting to lose a little bit of time to MRK and Newbie. It looks like he might have had a little bit of a mistake as Jondo's work is closing in on Volnev. And we got a big group coming in right here with Cobk, Razor's Bed, and JTB all fighting. We got a good bunch right now. Let's follow this battle for a little bit. Get a little interesting back here. Ooh, that's close. That's really close right there. Wondering if you got a warning for that one for Razor. I think we're going to see some. It looks like JTB has a lot of momentum through Sector 2 right there as Razor gets a little sideways trying to get that power down and maintain that momentum. Wonder if JTB goes for it as Razor goes into the pits, it looks like. Must have had a little bit of wing damage or something like that. It's pretty early to go into the pits. Looks like MRK is pulling on Newbie right here. Just got a lot of pace, but he's also able to run in that clean air. Probably be able to hold those tires together a little bit better than Newbie. As MRK is definitely clear of any DRS on the one section, but then again, the DRS isn't as powerful here as you would think it would be, as it's such a short straight that you can just burn all your battery and keep the other individual back. Starting to settle in right now to our race pace. Got a little bit of a battle back here between Razor and Great Ace, as Razor went in the pits not too long ago. And I believe Razor is on the hards, and I believe Great Ace is on the softs still. That is correct. I bet you those softs are only going to last for about 3 or 4 laps. So we go up here. I can see a little bit more of some battling going on between Cobk and Jondo's work. Jondo's work is actually starting to put the pressure on Volnev. As Newbie is at a little bit behind, still 2 seconds, but he's starting to wear that back out of MRK, unless MRK is just trying to save his tires or slowing down his pace, as Newbie is pushing hard. Ran a little bit deep there, it looked like Newbie, and lost that time that he was able to gain. Everybody's definitely settling in. We only really have Newbie, Volnev, and Jondo's work that are getting close to each other, as Devin Burns gets a 3-second time penalty. Although it's hard to do that here, it's still not impossible. The one corner I was talking about earlier. It looks like Cobk is going into the pits to put a hard tire on and a new front wing, as we got, it looks like Great Ace into the wall right there. Not really impeding everybody because they are far behind, but I would bet those softs were just completely done, and he's probably going to want to come in and throw a new wing as he spins out again. This might be an issue. trying to get going again before the leaders come to him. Is a little, definitely holding on for a while right there. That was interesting to see. I agree with you. His Great Ace is going to retire from the session after that issue. See a little bit of battle right here is Jonda's work is really putting the pressure to Volnev. Going to be tricky to pass, just like how Monaco always is. Jonda's work definitely looks like he's got the pace up here. Is he going to be able to pass as that DRS flap opens? It's just extremely tricky to pass. Newbie with a 3-second time penalty. That's going to hurt his chances at this win up here. So he was losing a little bit of pace, but that's going to open the door for Volnev and Jonda's work to get some good points today if they're able to hold on to it. Razor is bad with another 3-second time penalty as well, down in 11th. Jonda's work just doing everything he possibly can to get by Volnev. It is just so hard to pass here. Almost need to wait for somebody to make a mistake to be able to put a pass down, as they're catching Newbie pretty quickly right here. Ah, Jonda's work is right there. Oh no, Volnev gets sideways. I'm not sure if there was any touch between Jonda's work and Volnev, but yeah, it was close to looking like it. Because, yeah, if you look, oh no, Volnev lost a little bit of wing there from that issue, as he's going to go in the pits, I would assume. He does. GTB also pulling into the pits right now. Now, can Jonda's work get within that 3-second time penalty and give some good points to RB? They need to get some good points after last weekend from the Mercedes, but as JTB and Volnev are pulling out of the pits at the same time, see if they can get a good, clean going on this lap. Ooh! JTB, I saw him get a little outside of the pit exit right there. 3-second time penalty also might be an issue in the steward's room for later, as that is a no-no. Obviously, he got time penalized already. We got some interesting battle. Look at it. Oh, no! They're all jumping up. What is going on right here? People trying to pass in sections that are just too dang hard to pass in. As we can see, Volnev is having a little bit of a time back here, but also JTB with that 3-second time penalty was... Did he lose a little bit of his wing again? No, it doesn't look like it. So, right, we got a dive bomb coming in from Volnev on Cobb. They're able to make it through cleanly, as we still see, I don't know about cleanly, as you still see him battling back here, going too wide in this section as he should not be doing. Surprised they didn't bounce off the wall. Oh my goodness, Razorbad is also putting it to Striker right here. Is Devin Burns also going to get interesting? Yeah, he does. He goes to another, one of the only other spots to try to do a clean pass. This Striker keeps going right there. That is crazy. Young Ace goes into the pits again. Wow, that got interesting for a second, but it looks like everybody kind of settled back in. Yet again, is MRK, I'm assuming, pulling the pits. He did. I got a little distracted by that beating and banging back there. MRK putting on the hard tires. Let's go ahead and take a look and see what tires everybody is on now, as I think... Yep, besides Newbie, Jonda's work, and Ted, also Striker, everybody else is pitted. Let's see what tires we're on. MRK put on the hards. Our 3 that have not pit yet are still on the mediums. I'm assuming they're going to put on mediums as well. Oh, it's going to be tricky towards the end of this race. Some strategy playing right here. Is the hards going to last the whole race, or are they going to want to do a 3-stop? All right, let's go ahead and get going back here to the leader. As it looks like Jonda's work has gone to the pits. Yeah, that was tough. Or trick back. Or that's tough back there for each striker. Got a little bit of battling again with Kopke and Volnev. Oh, and they beating and banging. Kopke. Did Kopke hit the wall? Kopke is out. We're going to have a full safety car. Yeah, that's going to be interesting as it comes to... That was definitely an issue between Razor and Kopke. I'm not sure if it was Razor, but somebody pushed somebody definitely into the wall right there as they were trying to battle too wide into a section that you're not necessarily supposed to do. Safety car is out. I'm not sure if I'm going to see any pitting from anybody besides Newbie and the medium runners because MRK just put tires on. I think this benefits Newbie a little bit unless MRK, yeah, I think he's going to be able to get past. I don't know. I think he's going to be okay. Definitely going to hurt or mess with MRK a little bit back there. Wasn't a full safety car, it was a virtual safety car. I take that back. I apologize for my misinformation right there. As MRK retains the lead now, as Newbie is close to him, but with that 3-second time penalty, John Doe's work is back here. Is he going to be able to catch and get within that 3-second time penalty? Let's go ahead and take a look at those time penalties right now. The 3-second for for Newbie, 6-second for JTB, a 3-second for Razor, and a 3-second for Devin Byrne. Our two drivers out for the day are Kopke and Great Ace. Settling back in, we got a little bit of some battling right here between Ted and Striker. Ted definitely putting the pressure on Striker. If anybody could send an invite to Striker, as he's saying he just wants to join back. I did not notice he was gone. We do not have Striker as a friend on this game, so unfortunately I can't send you one myself. As it looks like Newbie is putting a little bit of a distance on John Doe's work. It definitely looked like in that first run, though, that John Doe's work had way more of a long run speed on just about everybody else. So maybe we need to wait about 3 or 4 laps so we start seeing that pace out of John Doe's work to get up there and mess with Newbie. And if Newbie can do much with MRK, but he does have that 3-second time penalty, so if he is able to get by, he's going to have to run very hard to get that 3-second gap. But we will see as Newbie out here running the fastest lap of the race at a 1:13.9, which is extremely impressive to see in a race pace. Is Volnev going to be able to catch? We'll see. He is 17 seconds back from the leader, but only about 5-6 seconds away from John Doe's work. It's JTB with that 6-second time penalty, but he has a big enough gap on Ted, so that shouldn't affect him too much if we see the race go and settle out the way it does. Let's go back to the only battle on track right now, and it isn't necessarily a battle. It is Newbie running down MRK at the moment. It definitely looks like Newbie is happier with the hard tires than MRK is. But we saw Newbie burn off those mediums pretty quick. So maybe MRK is just running and trying to save his tires. It looked like we got a little bit of something interesting right here with Devin Burns and Young Shoelace. Other than that, our small field for the night of only 10 drivers left. Very spread out. ahead and take a look up here with MRK again as Newbie is getting closer and closer lap by lap. If he didn't have that 3-second warning, it would be definitely an interesting race, but MRK just needs to hold on. We still have a long race to go. Ooh, Devin Burns trying to pass Young Shoelace right there, or hold on to it. It's Young Shoelace squeezed Devin Burns into that corner. No damage for Devin, so that is good to see. He's definitely not going to be happy about that move being placed on him right there, getting squeezed as hard as he did. Go up to MRK is getting, or I'm sorry, Newbie is getting closer and closer to MRK each lap. It's one thing to catch somebody at Monaco. It is a completely and utterly different thing to pass somebody at Monaco. That was a dive bomb. I'm sorry, I just switched in there and it was. I'm trying to bring as much enjoyment as I can. There's not a whole lot happening on the track, so I find a battle here or there. Let's see if Devin Burns is going to try to do a dive bomb yet again on Young Shoelace. Ooh, that was close. I'm pretty sure that was a warning for Devin Burns again right there. Doesn't look like he's close enough to go for the dive bomb. And I agree, Mr. Titan. With this few racers on Monaco, Monaco itself generally does not put that exciting of a show on, but we are trying our best as we go into a little bit more of a battle right here as Newbie is right on MRK's tail. I don't disagree with you, James. They are battling again up here, but let's go and see if Devin Burns is going to do anything again, if he can get close enough to Young Shoelace yet again. We're watching our leaders, MRK and Newbie, are really close to each other, but I don't know if Newbie can get that close. But is Ted cooked? I don't know. Devin Burns, nah, he's falling back a little bit as we come up here with Newbie. Newbie is right on the tail of MRK. Oh! What just happened there? MRK lose? Did he hit the wall? Did he lose a wing? Maybe he's medium well for Ted, but MRK with a big miss up right there. Didn't see if Newbie touched him or not. I was trying to scroll back to it. No damage, it looks like, for MRK, but MRK is slowly falling out of that 3-second window from Newbie. Can anybody tell me, did MRK get touched by Newbie? I was trying to scroll back to it in time, seeing that the time was dropping. Oh, that's going to be interesting. MRK needs to stay within this 3-second time window to ensure that he can hold on to this win, but oh, what happened right there? Jonda's work is still 11 seconds back. Let's go back to Ted. Somebody in the chat says maybe he's not cooked, but he might be a medium well. Mr. Titan, I'm sorry, that was pretty funny. To see if Devin Burns is getting anywhere close to Young Shoelace. Not at the moment, as MRK is definitely falling back on pace from Newbie. Huh. MRK falling outside of that penalty range from Newbie, as Newbie is just flying on these hard tires. Definitely seem to be suiting him a little bit better than the mediums were. Question is, can MRK settle back in and try to run him down against Striker with a 3-second time penalty, as he was able to get back into his car after a connection issue? Everybody's settling back in again, but it looks like Devin has got back up to Young Shoelace again. Are we going to see a crazy dive bomb from Devin again? As he hits the inside wall and goes a little wide right there, ruining a little bit of his pace. Everybody definitely settling in right here as Newbie is just pulling more and more time out of MRK. Here we go. Devin gonna do a crazy dive bomb yet again. Can he get the speed coming through here? I don't think he's close enough. Oh, slipping and sliding back there, burning up those tires, unfortunately, staying behind young Shoelace as he opens his DRS up, but try to make a pass, but unfortunately, it's not that long of a stretch. I agree with you, Jay. It's just, oh! As young Shoelace hits the wall and Devin runs into the back of him, but look at young Shoelace missing a bit of his wing, but so is Devin. That's going to make it interesting for some battling back here. I see somebody spinning out right here. This Striker. Oh no, is he going to be able to get going cleanly? He's got the leaders coming up behind him as he does get in the pits pretty easily. As Devin, in that meantime, was able to get past young Shoelace finally, but they both have some wing damage. That's going to make it tricky for Devin to do any time, but he still has that 3-second penalty. Is he able to pull out enough on young Shoelace back here? So you're kind of catching on Ted a little bit, but not enough. As MRK is in the pits, putting on more or new hards. As he gets right next to JTB, not going to benefit at all because JTB is not going to let it easy on him. Definitely going to hold him up. Obviously how hard it is to pass here. Let's see what happens here for a split second. MRK's got to keep it clean. Newbie with another 3-second time penalty. As you can definitely see, JTB is doing a slow up pretty hard on MRK. Last weekend, we saw some team orders working together. I think we're going to see a dive bomb right here from MRK. Oh, this is getting close. MRK's got to try to do this as clean as he can. I could definitely see right here that JTB is trying his best to hold up MRK to benefit his teammate. MRK got the space. He's really close right now. Oh no. What do we see? Both Mercedes up here right now. Definitely going to see some crazy defense from JTB. I'm sorry. Yeah, JDB the next couple laps to try to let Newbie get out as far as he can. As MRK goes for the dive bomb. Oh, what a crazy move from MRK. That was a little aggressive, but definitely JTB turned it on, and that's definitely going to go to the steward's room. That was not going to be too happy as JTB lost his entire front wing, and MRK loses an end plate. That's going to hurt him. Is he going to be able to keep up with Newbie with that 6-second time gap to maintain that? But JTB is not going to be happy right there. I could definitely see it. MRK was getting a little frustrated back there with the slow up from JTB. John Doe's work is catching up to JTB as well back here, but JTB is going to have to go and pit with no front wing at all. Let's see, we got any other exciting battling going on. MRK is able to stay pretty close to Newbie right now, even with that wing damage. That got a little dramatic, if you would. So it looks like Newbie putting in a purple sector right there. He's going to have to put some crazy lap times in. Obviously, it's going to be a little easier to do so with MRK missing that end plate. But he has to pull a 6-second time gap. It's going to be pretty tricky to do. Not impossible, though. Is pulling pretty far. He's got a 6-second gap. I mean, if he runs the rest of this race, as he could with those hard tires I believe he's on. Let's go ahead and check that really quick. He's got 13 lap old hards. Newbie with 1 lap and MRK with 2 lap. As it looked like Razor pulled in the pit stop, fix his front wing. It's going to push him pretty far back in the field. Well, I think Olezin's trying to run the rest of this race on those hards. MRK's not necessarily losing too much time to Newbie with that wing issue. Winding down the laps here. It's got about 18 laps, I'd say, give or take. I'm not good at math. We're settling in back to a race pace. Not too much excitement going on at the moment as Newbie's trying to run down Villeneuve on those really old hard tires as he's getting closer. But is he going to be able to run, pull hard enough away from Villeneuve with that 6-second time penalty? Oh, is it a two-stop? I believe you are correct. I forgot about that. Yeah, as he pulls into the pits right now. Thanks, Borderman. Or burn. So MRK with a 1.7 back from Newbie right now. If he can stay within that 6-second time range, it's going to benefit him. But we still have a long race to go. As John does work. As John does work is 10 seconds back. Is he going to be able to get within that penalty range also from Newbie? We will see as JTB goes out there and puts the fastest lap of the race down. Also with the 6-second time penalty. That's going to hurt them. Settling back in. Nothing too exciting happening on the track at the moment. We have a little bit of some sort of close battle as JTB is trying to run down Ted. Let's see who needs to stop still yet again. It's Ted and Young Shoelace. MRK holding it to that 2-second gap. Striker with a 3-second time penalty. It's not going to push Striker back too. Unfortunately, that's not going to be beneficial to his race. 6 seconds back with, he's pretty far back, so that's unfortunate for him. His day's been a little messed up with getting kicked from the lobby for a second as MRK is down to 2.4 seconds back from Newbie with that wing damage still, so that's definitely not helping him. He's got time to play with. Let's see now if Newbie is running up on a lap car at the moment. Razor is bad. Is that going to affect him? Obviously, we need to get out of the way for everybody as we have... As I say that, I do believe Razor just DNF'd on track, though. Did he wreck or did he DNF on track? Ooh, that's interesting. MRK is down to 2.9 seconds back now. Needs to keep it within that 6 seconds. Not sure if Newbie's getting close to another time penalty or not, though. As he is pushing as hard as he can up there to get that 6-second gap. Going to make him a little bit more susceptible to getting time penalties. You see him locking up, pushing hard into there. And where did we have ATB at the moment? 16 second back. The Villeneuve is 16 as well. John Does Work has fallen about 12 seconds as Newbie is putting some crazy lap times in right now. As Devin Burns got behind Young Shoelace yet again, as I believe Young Shoelace is going to the pits as soon as I go look at it. Of course. MRK, 3.4 seconds. Oh, MRK pulling a little bit more time back there. It looks like Sector 1 is a little bit more in favor of MRK, even with that wing damage. .5 seconds. Getting close to 10 laps to go. Getting close. Not there yet, though. There's Volna putting in some good time, though. Starting to run down Jonda's work. I think he might be able to catch him towards the end if he keeps this pace up. MRK is falling down to 3.5. Oh, I saw 3.7 for a second. But we're coming up to Sector 1 where he's able to run a little bit better time. It's clean through that section right there. Able to put the power down real nice. MRK down to 4 seconds. Volnov getting real close to Jonda's work right now. It's almost down within a second. Wow, it's going to be hard for John to keep Volnov back right now as he's on the fresher tires and running with some speed right there. Barely scrapes the wall, a little bit right there, nothing too bad. JTB with another. As I've been informed, wing damage is way more noticeable here with worn tires. As laps wind down, MRK is probably going to lose a lot more pace with that missing end plate. That's not going to play in his favor right there. As you can see, he's 5.1 seconds back. I don't think he's going to be able to hold in within that second gap or one more second of newbie. That is unfortunate, but we're definitely going to have some conversations later on about newbie's teammate JTB purposely holding up MRK. Definitely some strategy. You can't be wrong with it, though. That was pretty strategic in teamwork. As we got Volnov running down Jonda's work. Like I said, he's within 0.6. Always come back to this, though. I mean, wow, it looks like John is on the mediums. Those would be probably screaming at this point. It's one thing to catch. It's another thing to pass here at Monaco. And is he going to be able to do anything with that? MRK down to 5.5. It's not looking good for MRK to stay within that 6 seconds as we are about 10 laps to go. How old are Jade? Let's see. Let's take a look here. Let's go. Jonda's works at 10 lap hole mediums. That is brutal. MRK's holding in there. It's getting a little bit of pace back, but I don't know if he's going to be able to hold it on to it. Devin Burns with another 3-second time penalty. Gonna put him up to 6 seconds as well. JTB with a 9-second and Newbie with a 6-second. Still surprised with how old the tires are on John Doe's Works car, and he's somewhat able to hold him back, but that just goes to say how hard it is to pass here at this track. Oh, there it is. MRK is 6 seconds back, unfortunately. Striker with, we got a caution on the track. What has happened? It looks like, oh no! Is this a VRC? Did not let me know right there. Let's take a look-see poo real quick. Looks like this is going to be a full safety car. That is great news for MRK. Yeah, I just saw that. Thank you. It didn't notify me what it was, though, so I was confused. MRK with the drive-through that hurts him so much! MRK, what have you done? No! That... MRK just threw it away right there with that one, unfortunately. Cheddar Bob, as Shake Again says, and I definitely agree with you, he threw that away. Extremely unfortunate for MRK. Agreed with you, Semtex. That is gonna be it for MRK. He gets saved and then makes a simple mistake. It's very easy to go fast into the pits here because it is instantly right around that corner. That is just purely unfortunate for him. He'll still get points on the day, but I don't think he's gonna be able to get up there with that podium with a drive-through. Not on a track like this. Nowhere to pass. That is rough. All right. I will be right back. While we're under safety car, I need to use the restroom. As it looks like Devin Burns is also retired. Never mind, he was the issue for the safety car. Man, that is such a bummer. Bummer for MRK. I mean, with all the time penalties out there, you could keep it close enough. You'll still probably be able to save maybe a top 5, which isn't terrible for the day. Some good points for his team, as it looks like Newbie definitely helped him out, but I don't know if he's going to have enough to be able to pull from Volnev and John Doe's Work, though, which is unfortunate. It's on older tires. Let's go ahead and take a look at the tires now after that pit cycle. As John Doe's Work put on softs. That is an interesting move, because we're going to see the safety car go around one more time. Liberty Gans, I'm pretty confident it's going to go in after this. I don't know if those softs are going to hold on for John Does Work for that long, but it's definitely going to make him competitive. Question is, when does MRK pull in to serve his drive-through? Newbie and Volnev on pretty old hards, as Ted gets a 3-second time penalty. Under safety car, that's pretty interesting to do. I do believe we're going to go racing here. I still don't know how this race is going to finish. With everybody so close and the top two runners on such old tires. Ugh, I don't think this is going to be our last safety car, which could benefit MRK. I guarantee we're going to see some interesting battles with how old those tires are up front. As I said before, safety car is going to be in this lap. Let's go ahead and get on board. Big slow up from Newbie right now. John Does Work. A 10-second time penalty with a collision with his own teammate. What is going on right here with the RBs in the last latter stages of this race? They're really hurting their chances as Newbie gets going. Vaughn is able to keep up close as MRK pulled into the pits immediately to serve his drive-through. It's going to hurt John Does Work right there, unfortunately. Oh, no! Oh my goodness, as JTB is putting the pressure, and it looks like John Does Work takes a little bit of wing damage right there. Did he lose an in-plate? Doesn't look like he did. That they did to definitely have contact. Ah, that really hurt John Does Work with that 10-second penalty. No, I'm not sure if they're going to be able to fight that or not in the steward's room later on, as Young Shoelace is causing a little bit of slow up right there. It's so hard to get by, even when you're trying to let the leaders through, you know? It looks like, in my opinion, this is all in the favor of Vona right now. Everybody around him has a time penalty, and it looked like MRK tried to dive into the pits too soon right there. Wasn't able to serve his his drive-through. That is just an absolute bummer for MRK. No. Oh, goodness. What has happened to the RVs in this latter stage of this race? They were looking so strong to get into great points. Ah, that is such a bummer. Like I said, it looks like JTV is going to try to go for the pass on Von Liv. Oh no, that is just such a buzzkill for the RVs right there. Is Ted back here also running as quick as he can? We're coming down to 4 laps to go. The question is, how much pressure is JTV gonna throw on to? Oh no, it looks like Newbie is trying to mess a little bit. Great block from Vaughn right there, Volnev right there. As, oh no! What an aggressive move from JTB with great blocking from Volnev. It's hard to tell if he moved under the braking or not, but I don't think he did. That was looking pretty clean for him, and that really is going to hurt JTB back here with the 9-second time penalty, no wing. I think that's going to open the door up pretty good for John Does Work. I don't know. We'll have to see how this settles out. They're pretty close back here. With Ted back here, sitting pretty good, in all honesty, to get some good points out of this today. As JTV pulls into the pits. As MRK served his drive-through. Looking pretty good. Unfortunately, he's extremely far back. This race is looking pretty good for Volnev right now. I think it would behoove him just to let John Does Work go through and not fight him and do his best to stay within that 6-second range, because John Does Work definitely has the better tires. He can get up there and mess with Newbie a little bit. Oh, as I say that, John Does Work. It's a little sideways on the exit right there, burning up those softs, which isn't a good idea. I know we only have three laps come down to close to that, but that's just going to hurt those rear tires a lot. As you can hear right there, as he got on the throttle, he's just burning those tires up, unfortunately. MRK is making up some good time. I know he's still pretty far back on JTB, unfortunately. I don't think there's time for him to get close to get that top 5. Unless he can make up some crazy time right now. Newbie out there showing some great pace on those old hards. I'm absolutely impressed with Newbie's pace all race long. He's been able to just pull. He's holding on to these hards. He just did not have a good time on those mediums, but these hards definitely worked out for him a lot better. He's got great pace, but I just don't know if he's got enough right now. It's going to be hard for him to be able to pull that 6-second gap on Volnev. Oh, as he hits the wall a little bit there, but no real damage. A little bit of a battle yet still from John Does Work on Volnev. Is he going to be able to do anything with it? Two laps to go, ladies and gentlemen. Means no more safety cars. John Does Work is trying everything he can. He barely touches the back of Volnev right there. No wing damage, it looks like. Just a, hey, how are you doing? Whoa! Oh no! Has Volnev gotten to the back of Newbie? That's gonna hurt. That is very unfortunate for Newbie. Oh, as he hits the side, did he lose part of his wing? He did. He lost both end plates. That's gonna be definitely going to the steward's room after that. Didn't look like anything besides. Volnev cooked the brakes and got into the back of Newbie. That's definitely gonna be a conversation for later on. As it looks like that actually might help John Does Work. If my math is mathin', and he's gonna fall apart with that no wing. Maybe John Does Work and get that penalty removed after this race for, I know he hit his teammate. Newbie owes Ted that spot because he reversed on track. That is definitely going to be something for the steward's room for later on. I don't disagree with you seeing him reverse on track instead of letting them all go by. As John Does Work is pulling on Newbie, this is going to help John Does Work out greatly. Like I said, I do not know if John Does Work is going to be able to get that penalty removed afterwards, because yes, he did collide with somebody under the safety car, but it was his teammate. I don't think they're going to be able to remove it. It looks like Volnev is going to pull through and win this race. I don't disagree with you, B-Dunk. I don't know. That is not my call to make. Unserved time penalty for John Does Work. That is going to hurt him massively. Borderman has a good point right there. You have to wait till everybody gets going. That is an unsafe entry back into the track. I do understand that. Still will be something for conversations, though. So what a interesting finish right there towards the end of the race. Definitely a dramatic finish to the end of this race. Gonna have some interesting conversations later on. I unfortunately do not have time today to do interviews. Or I have to get ready for my race. So I would just like to say thank you, ladies and gentlemen, for joining us today. Congratulations at the moment to Volnev. But that's definitely going to be an interesting end of this race. Let's go ahead and actually look at this really quick. Race winner, Volnev at the moment. Fastest lap is JTB. Driver of the day is JTB. Most overtakes is also JTB. And cleanest driver will go to John Does Work. I'd like to say congratulations to our finishing order right here. Volnev, John Does Work, Ted, Newbie, JTB, MRK, Young, Shoelace, Striker, Devin Burns, Razor is Bad, Cobb K, and Great Ace. Thank you very much, ladies and gentlemen, for joining me today. But that'll be it today. I have no time for interviews, like I said, so I will catch everybody later.